Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rick Dancer. This is Get Real with Rick Dancer, and we're at Any Lab Test Now. Stephanie called me today and said, Rick, we now have the ability to do COVID-19 antibody testing at Any Lab Test Now here in Eugene. And so I am going to go have the test done and kind of show you guys how this all works. So we're here at the counter. Stephanie is going to come over and talk with us. So you guys are now able to do COVID-19 antibody testing.
Yes.
What does that mean for people?
So that is a test to see if you've had any exposure to COVID.
And who would be the most likely people to get this?
Well, they're still unsure about what this test is going to provide as far as the knowledge. We don't know. They don't know if you show up positive for this test, if that means that you're not going to get sick again, or that you're going, they're not sure how this antibody test works at this point in time. But the hope is that this antibody test will tell you you've been exposed, you're not going to get sick again, or you're going to get you've been exposed. So the next time that you have an exposure, you probably won't have that big of a reaction. You might not get that sick. So the hope is that this will tell that information and they'll have a clearer picture. So like healthcare workers could get this test done, or pre-employment, you could come in and say, I have had the COVID antibody test and I have been exposed. So that's the hope, but they still don't know a lot about the level of what the antibody test tells them.
Because normally if you have the antibody, if you've been exposed to other kinds of viruses, that means you're pretty much not going to probably get that. So since COVID-19 is so new, we don't know, but that's the probable hope, we could say.
Correct. That's the probable hope, is that at some point they will know, okay, if you have the antibody test and it says that you're positive, we know for a fact that you're not going to get it again, or we know for a fact that if you do get it again, you probably won't get that sick. So at some point they're hoping to know exactly what the positive would mean.
So what the process is, now I just came in because you called me, but normally the process is what has to happen. You cannot just come in and have this test.
Right. So you have to call and make an appointment. So once you call in and make your appointment, when you come in for your appointment, you're not going to come into the front desk and fill out paperwork. You're going to come right in, and we're going to take you into a private room that's just for COVID testing. And so you'll fill your paperwork out in there until we get it all online, which at some point we're going to have. But until then, you'll go back into that back room and you'll fill your paperwork out. We'll do your blood draw in there. It's a 1-2 blood draw. We'll do your blood draw in there, and then you'll leave and go out the door. So you're not going to have a bunch of interaction, and we're doing one person at a time. So if you have an appointment at 1, and somebody has one at 1:30, they'll be in the car until you leave and we clean and get everything prepped and go, and then we'll bring them in.
So there's some questions that are going to be asked.
Yep.
So when you call in for your appointment,
Pre-screening.
you're going to have pre-screening questions, and here she is. So why don't you read those questions so we know what's coming up?
Okay, so you'll be asked if you have a fever of 100.4 degrees or higher, if you currently have a cough. Are you experiencing shortness of breath or any respiratory issues? Are you experiencing any of these following? Chills, repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, new loss of taste or smell, and have you been in close contact with anyone with a confirmed COVID-19 diagnosis?
And that's to screen to find out if they should even be coming in here, because this is not COVID testing, this is COVID antibody testing. And if people are feeling any symptoms, you do not want them in here.
Correct. We do not want you in here if you have any of these symptoms.
And for normally, you guys, there will be a room here right behind that door. That's where you'll be, so it's all private. Plus, you'll be the only person in here anyway besides the folks here. But today, I'm going to go ahead and do the antibody test. And so we're going to, Stephanie, you're our camera woman, remember?
Yeah.
So it's just a simple blood test, right? I'm going to give you that,
Give me that?
and
Okay.
that.
Okay. Yep. It's just a simple test. It's just one tube, and Caitlin's awesome. So I had it done, and you can hardly even feel anything at all.
How long does it take to get the results of this? Just tell the process of what you do, okay? You mail it out, that kind of first.
Right. Yeah. So we mail this out. It's about 48 to 72 hours, but I will say with all labs right now, things can get backed up, or if the numbers of COVID-19 antibody testing the people that are having it done, if it just skyrockets in the next couple of weeks, it could take a little bit longer. But right now, we're getting a 48 to 72 hour turnaround time.
So you were saying earlier, and this is just for us guys, this is not some medical thing, but it wouldn't be a bad thing for me to have been, since I'm not sick, to have been exposed to this. So if I'm exposed to this, that's not a bad thing if I'm not having any symptoms.
Right. So,
so I want to be exposed. I want to have it come back positive. It would be a great thing that way, right? Is that right?
I mean, if that's how you look at it, that's how I look at it. Like, if you're positive, when things open back up, you can travel with a little less worry. I mean, of course, we don't know yet what it means exactly, but if it means that you won't get it again, that could be a high probability. But like I said, you could travel again. You could be a little bit more leisurely with how you're running your life.
See that in there?
Oh, the needle? Oh, sorry. No, I didn't.
That's okay.
That's it.
That's all there is to it. Okay.
That's it.
You guys are the best at doing all that stuff. You really are. So in terms of the 72 hours or so, I'll know. And then do you notify me?
Oh, yes. Yeah. You'll just let us know how you want your result. I'm having a hard time.
You like this?
Oh.
You're just
rotate.
You're just trying to.
Okay, so yeah, you will let us know how you want your results. We can email them to you. You can come in and pick them up. We prefer that we, email them to you or email them to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any? So in terms of you guys can tell them everything. If you go to the website too, you guys don't go to the Eugene website. Just go to the Any Lab Test Now website, the main website, and it has a whole explanation of who would want to be tested and why you would be tested and what would happen on there. So that kind of gives you an idea of a little more why you might want to do this.
It's can I interrupt you? It's on the lower. So you don't go to the Eugene Any Lab Test. Okay. Now page on the bottom right hand corner, it has COVID-19 testing, and it says it has locations. It will click. But that we do now have it in Eugene. So if you click on it, it says updates on COVID for customers, and it really explains how the antibody test works, who would want to have it done. So it's a really good, calm understanding.
So in some ways, this is like peace of mind, a little bit for some people. I mean, if I had the antibody, I would feel like, okay, I've been exposed and. And
as long as you remember, that we're not saying that the antibody test right now means that you're safe and means that you've been exposed and you're never going to get it again.
Right.
That, we don't know that yet. They don't know that yet. But, for me, I know that I would be like, okay, I do feel a little bit better knowing that the probability that if I get sick again, that I won't be as sick or I may not get sick.
So, again, you guys, we're at Any Lab Test Now here in Eugene, and the audio is terrible. That's because we had the microphone doing something weird.
That's my fault.
Do we need a doctor referral?
We provide that for you.
They provide that for you. So you can come in here. They have a doctor on staff, so they can provide that for you. So
they don't have to meet with the doctor or anything.
So you don't have to meet with the doctor. Did the sound get better? Is it now? You guys are able to hear it. I think it was just because we didn't have a professional running the mic. So I hope that that's better now that you can hear it. So let me just go through some stuff. So you go on the Any Lab Test Now site. You can go to the main page. On that page, it has a COVID-19 antibody information piece, and you can go on there and look to see if this is something you might want to do. And then you call in, and they'll ask you the questions. You'll make an appointment. This is only one person in here at a time appointment kind of thing. So then you'll come in, go into a room where it's all private, and then you will have the blood test drawn, and then it'll take up to 72 hours to get your results back, and you will get those back by email. So whatever that means to you, it's what we want to know is that it's now available here in Eugene. So for me, I think another thing Stephanie and I were talking about is now if I do have the antibody, then once things start going down the road to getting back to whatever the new normal is going to be, I will have already had that done. And so I'm one step ahead that way. And I think for me, it's a little bit of peace of mind too. So anyway, this is where you go. They can explain everything to you, costs, how much that works, how it works once you call in and do your thing. I was pretty excited that you guys had this when you told me today. She just told me this morning they got it because you just started doing this, right?
Yeah, I mean, we just decided to start doing it for the public, but yeah, we've been doing it on ourselves for a little bit.
So now that you can, and you have a lab in Portland that's sent to, and that's where everything goes.
Yeah, we have several labs that we can do it with, but we do have a local lab, so which makes it nice and easy. And also, when you do click on the Any Lab Test Now webpage, on the bottom where it says that check for COVID testing, you don't have to call that 1-800 number and check. Just call, if you are living in Eugene and you want to have it done, just call the local Eugene number and make the appointment directly with us. It's so much easier and faster.
And Erin, this is not free to the public. This is there is a
there is a paragraph. If you click on the page on the COVID information, there's a paragraph that tells you that you could possibly be able to get this through your healthcare provider with insurance. So if you have insurance, you have a healthcare provider, you can check that route first. So we operate differently than that.
Right. This is for people like me who have really bad insurance or people that want to just find out on their own.
Right. But you can use your HSA card. So you can use your savings card. So if you have insurance and you're doing, you have the money.
HSA, that's what I have. I can do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Well, I just did it because I want to know. So anyway, so you guys just set up the appointment, come in, and they can explain everything to you because it'll be all on the phone. And you guys are still doing, just so you know, they've been very busy in here this morning. You're still doing all the other vitamin shots, the keeping people's immunity as good as it can be.
Yeah, yeah, we are. And the thing to know, too, is that we're doing the one person at a time for everything. So no matter what you come in here for, if you're coming in here to get some really in-depth blood tests, or if you're coming in here to get an injection, we're doing one person at a time for everybody. So, yeah.
All right, Stephanie, thanks. Thanks, you guys. It was great being in here. Nice seeing you again. So again, you guys, look at the gloves are on, the masks are on when they're doing work with you, and it's one person at a time. Any Lab Test Now COVID-19 antibody testing right here in Eugene, Oregon. Erin, you're very welcome. Thanks, man. And please, if you would do this for me, share this on your page so other people who may want to do this can find out more about that. All right, we'll talk. Bye-bye.